Welcome all the hackers to Cohere Coral Hackathon. It's a big pleasure for us to have you all today with us on the stream and for those who will watch it in recording. It's a very special hackathon, not only for hackers that participate in the hackathon or for Cohere team, but also for LabLab.ai, because we made our best to make sure that this hackathon will be special for those who got their seats in the hackathon, and we'll make sure that you had awesome experience working with actually the newest model from Cohere. It's not really a model, I would say, feature on the platform that we will tell you more about it later. And Cohere folks also joined us today to tell you more about Coral itself and other technologies you can use for this hackathon. But in general, as you might know, this hackathon were closed for 1,000 people only, and we're still accepting people to join this hackathon. And if you were accepted, that I'm happy to inform you that you are eligible to participate. And we do believe that you're worth to try the best technology on the market first. So welcome to everybody, and I'm sure that most of you already worked with Cohere before. So if you did, and if you maybe even participated in Cohere Hackathon in the past at LabLab, please let me know in the chat. You can drop a number of the hackathons you participated, or just share your experience with Cohere if you already built with the technology before. I'm Alessia Zinchenko, and I'm the event manager at LabLab.ai, and I will be the part of event team as well for Cohere Hackathon. So I will be one of the people that can help you over this hackathon journey. Let me show you the agenda for next week. So we are now on the hackathon kickoff. Here I will intro you to the prizes, to the hackathon technology, to LabLab.ai as a company that organized this, and then you will get introduction to Cohere as well. So you will know more about the technology that you should work with over this hackathon. Then you will have special hackathon Coral Challenge announcement from Sandra. I don't want to spoil right now, so you will hear more from Sandra, but it's some exciting way to try out Coral yourself. And then we will go to RAG workshop with Cohere, where also you will have more practical knowledge how to get started your hackathon journey with this technology. And then on Monday, we will have a bunch of workshops that you can attend to learn and have more practical experience as well. So we'll have exciting workshop from Longchain and Cohere to see how you can combine these two powerful technologies to build and use actually for your products. Also, we'll have Cohere office hours to answer your questions. And then there will be exciting workshop from V8 to showcase how to combine V8 and Cohere models in one project. And of course, the deadline will be on Friday, 17th at 4 p.m. CET time. But I would encourage you to go to your team pages and to the platform to see what time will it be for you, because on the platform, the schedule is adapted to your time zone. As you may see, to those who noticed that the deadline was moved a few hours more, we did that just to ensure that we can help you over your submission time. So our mentors and our developers will be there to solve any issues you may have with your submissions or to support, answer your questions, and make sure that this hackathon experience will be actually successful for you. Let me give a bit of intro to LabLab.ai. So LabLab.ai is a company, and I would say it's more community that unites developers from all around the world to help you build the best projects and give you access to the best models in the market. And also we have a lot of initiatives like LabLab Micro Hackathon that you probably already participated in. It's a very short, small challenges where you can try out just released technologies. It's a big hackathon where we have access to more advanced software from partners. And also we have a lot of initiatives inside of the Discord in community. And about that, you can discover more on our platform. And then we have New Native, and New Native is, we would say, house of AI, and it's a company that LabLab.ai. And New Native has also ton of opportunities for hackers, since New Native hosts the AI accelerators that allows you to basically work with AI and work with AI in your startup ideas after the hackathon as well, and utilize your knowledge to build your next business, not only keep it as a hackathon experience. Let me also introduce Cohere and specifically Cohere Coral. So it's knowledge assistant for enterprise and for advanced hackers and for everybody who just want to try out the best stuff on the market. And you can customize it very easily. And I don't want to stop here that much because I would love to hear more about Coral from Sandra and from Sebastian who just joined our stream today. Then we have a bunch of technologies from Cohere that you can use as well. And basically, you can use any Cohere model you prefer, but we also encourage you to try out Coral as the main technology of this hackathon. So here you see Cohere endpoints, which is generate, classify, and embed, and also exciting feature, which is multilingual semantic search. We have hackathons on this, and people build exciting projects using the multilingual capabilities of Cohere. And we prepared for you a bunch of tutorials on Cohere. So check out lablab/t page with Cohere tutorials where you can have more hands-on experience on the model. And I'm happy to introduce to you our partners for this hackathon. Except of Cohere, we have two more side partners that are supporting us with knowledge and with support over the event. So as you saw, that we will have a workshop from VV8. VV8 is an open source vector database that is critical for some sort of AI project. So we would really recommend you to consider VV8 for your solution for your project in case you need to use vector database, because VV8 will provide you support over all the hackathon, and it's really exciting opportunity to connect with people that build this vector database during the hackathon so they can put some input into your projects and help you to pick the best way to do your project actually in the end. So you will have opportunity to have mentorship with them, also session with them. So they will just help you a lot to understand how the vector databases works together with Cohere and how you can use it for your projects. And then we have LangChain, which is a library that will help you to combine Cohere with other AI models. We also recommend you to use LangChain for your solution, at least consider. And also we will have exciting workshop with LangChain and Cohere to see how these technologies can be combined. All of these technologies you can find on our lablab/tech page and also on the Cohere Coral event page. There we put the list and useful links that you have to use to discover these technologies and start building. And I'm also excited to show you photos and also the usernames of our mentors. It's a mentor lead team. It's not all the mentors we have at LabLab, it's just the leaders that are taking care of some specific directions and departments in our community. But also we have a lot of mentors that are running around Discord trying to help you with your hackathon solutions. So you will meet most of them already on Discord. And now you can see guys that are actually leading this community experience for you. And now it's time for the hackathon guide. It will be very brief. I don't want to stop them much today on the hackathon guide since you will get link to this after the stream. But when it comes to the most important part of this hackathon, as you remember that the hackathon is basically we accept people only the one that filled in the form and then match specific Cohere's criteria. So now I want to make sure that all of you that were accepted actually have all the necessary information to have a successful team formation process. Let me just double check what we have with our chat. Maybe there is something I can answer before I will move on. Okay. All right, most of the questions I can answer now in the following steps. So when it comes to the start of the hackathon, after you pick the Cohere Coral hack and you already got accepted, we encourage you to fill in your LabLab profile. Since people will be picking team members from the list of teams, we really recommend to put as much information as possible, which is your bio and links to relevant resources like your GitHub or your portfolio, just because people will not have that much data to pick the team members. They will see your profile as the main representation of you. So, and it will help them to make decision, do they want you in their team or not? So really take a bit of time and fill in your profile properly. Then when it comes to the hackathon journey in general, how it should look for you. So after you filled in your profile and joined the hackathon, you will have to create and join your team on lablab.ai, and I will show you later how to do that. Then you will meet your team on Discord as a main communication channel for this hackathon. After, you will have a brainstorming time with your team and you will come up with 2-3 concepts of your projects that you want to build over the hackathon. And you can go to mentors to communicate these ideas to them, and they can help you to pick the best that you can go with for this hackathon. After, of course, the most exciting stage where you will build your prototype, communicate with your team, and actually have some corrections, and then you will come up with the final solution that you will submit in the end of the hackathon. And for this hackathon specifically, I would love to stop more on the team formation part. Since the user should be accepted before, it might be hard and maybe challenging for you to find people that actually were accepted as well for this hackathon. So I'd love to show you how to do so, and to don't get confused and pick the people that were accepted to this hackathon as well as you. So let me share my screen now. And team, just please confirm that you can see my screen. I see you can. Okay. So moving forward, now we are on the Cohere main event page. We're clicking to the create or join team button. In case you were accepted, you will see this button like this. Quickly refresh it. Perfect. So here you see the main Cohere hackathon dashboard with all the information you need to know to get started. And you can read it after the stream, but now I want to show you one of the steps. So I already created my team to showcase you how it works. Here you see my own team, and also there is a list of teams you can join. If you don't want to create your own team, but you want to join some of them, please look for the teams that have looking for members label. So I can simply go here and just join the team. I cannot join the team right now since I'm a team leader of my own team, but you will be able to do so looking for a team with this label. So let me show you how the invitation of people works. So I'm going to my team profile and I'm clicking on Add Teammate button. You can see this button only when you are team leader of the team. And here I see the list of all the people that were accepted to this hackathon. So going through them, I can click on the profiles and I can see what these people had in the past, maybe some links for them. You can check their maybe GitHub project they did in the past. So that will help you to understand who this person is and do you want them in your team, and is it some specific background you're looking for. And you can simply send them invite link. So these people can be invited to the team and they will know that you want to work with them over this hackathon. Another option, you can just copy the invitation link and send it to your friends or to the people that were accepted to the hackathon. That's it on the side of team formation. If you will have any questions, please let me know, and we will make sure to help you together with mentors. I hope it was clear. Let me check quickly once again the Twitch chat. Did we have any questions? Yeah, there is a question from Scordo. Do we need to create a team? Can I go solo? Of course, you can go solo. And in this hackathon, you have to have team from 1 to 6 members. So you can go solo as well. What is important is you have to create your team at lablab.ai, even if you go solo. Just make sure to don't mark that you're looking for members. Just because to create a submission this hackathon, you have to have a team created. Okay. There is no other questions here. Guys, if you have something regarding team formation, feel free to ask in the chat and I will be happy to answer. Okay, and let me then move to evaluation criteria so you will know how we will rate your solutions. There is a 4 criteria. Our mentors, together with Cohere mentors, will evaluate your project. It's an application of technology. Did you actually use the main technology of the hackathon? Did you use other technologies? And how well you combine them together? Then we go to the presentation, where we will evaluate your presentation skill and how you can actually present for us your project. Was it clear enough? And do we got excited actually from your presentation? Then we go to business value, where we will evaluate, does your idea have actually the real business value? Can it be applicable to some areas of business? Can it can it make money, and in the end, can it be actually valuable startups in this field that you're building. And then we go to originality to understand, was your project original, and was your idea unique, or is the problem you picked also very unique and no one or not a lot of people was trying to solve this problem before. So keep it in your mind once you're picking the idea of your project, because it's something that's really important for your solution to have unique idea with a proven business value and a great application of technology, and at the same time it should be well presented, and in this case you will have success with this hackathon. And afterwards, before inviting Sandra to the stage, I want to show you the prizes. Same prizes you already saw in our event page, but I just want to recap of them. So winners of this hackathon will get a bit of presents and devices from Cohere. There you have them listed. In addition, that first place winner, the winner of this hackathon, will get $2,000 in cash and also 5,000 in Cohere credits, because we just want simply you to use these credits for your project success in the future. Then the second place will get $1,000 in cash and 3,000 in Cohere credits, and as well as third place will get $500 in cash and 2,000 in Cohere credits. May these prizes be for your project's best, and we hope that it will be a bit of motivation for you to work over this hackathon, having plans to develop project in the future. And that's it on my side. I would love to have Sandra now with me on the stage, because we want to hear more about Cohere, as well as I'd love to hear more about the mini challenge that Roy already presented to us, and tell us more about this.
All right, awesome. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Wonderful. If you hear some banging, my neighbor probably is making some updates suddenly, like literally when the stream started. Welcome, everyone. I'm super excited to kick off the next Cohere Hackathon together with LabLab. We've done a bunch of these, so perhaps you've participated in them in the past. If not, even more excited to have you for the first time. We are rolling out Coral Hack, and our partners are LangChain, Weaviate, and the mentioned LabLab. And this time we have two challenges for you. The first one is Prompt Me Challenge. So the challenge will be basically about submitting as many originally written by you, hopefully, complex prompts that cover a list that we included in the detailed description. And the way to do it will be basically to log into the Coral UI and use the address that you logged in to the Coral Hackathon, and then just keep creating prompts, keep submitting them, and keep challenging the Coral UI. And we hope that, first of all, you manage to break it many times. You're not going to go easy on Coral. And the second thing is that I hope it's going to be a good primer for what Coral is as a knowledge assistant, as a product, and that you're going to have fun while discovering that. So this is an individual challenge. You are going to do this outside of your teams, something to note. The next challenge, however, the challenge number 2, is all about building in teams that you've already formed or are about to form. And here for the second challenge, we are bringing you the latest endpoint, hot of the production line. Super excited to show you CoChat plus RAG endpoint, which is the newest part of our API and enables creating products with chat generation capabilities that are enhanced by retrieval augmented generation. So in these teams, you are going to choose one of the tracks. Track 1 will be about creating a solution that will demonstrate the best use of retrieval augmented generation with documents and with query generation. And then track 2 is a little bit more experimental. This is something that we are still cooking, and we are really, really curious about how you're going to use this one. And we are going to hopefully learn from you tons. So track number 2 is about demonstrating the best use of RAG with a connector mode. Connector meaning as broadly as possible, plugging into any sort of API type of data compute that you're interested in and that will serve your use case. Yeah, I am really excited to check out your demos later on. Have a ton of fun and hopefully see you during the pitching sessions. Go crush it.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Great to hear from you, actually, and we are super happy to see what we'll be able to, what people will be able to build with Coral. And now I also happy to welcome Simon Olson on the stream. He is one of the co-founders at New Native and as well as LabLab.ai. And Simon, I already intro LabLab a bit, and I would love to hear more about New Native as well as opportunities for startups to go further. Please elaborate on this.
Definitely. I am first and foremost very happy to do another event with Cohere this time on RAG. This will be great. I mean, Coral is I build for people building with Cohere quite a game changer. So super happy to see what people will actually build out of this. Yeah, just a couple of words, probably echoing some of what you already said, Alesha. We're really trying as hard as we can to make AI more available to as many people as possible, and part of these hackathons are geared towards that. And we have, in fact, for some of our advanced builders who has not only made it through a hackathon and in some cases won, actually opened up a couple of tracks for you to basically progress. We've seen that quite a few of you actually are quite interested in building startups attached to your product. So we have a program that's been launched just recently that we've been running in beta for the last 4 months called Slingshot, where we basically help you structure your thinking about your product so that it can become a fundable business. And it's a 20-day program that we host together with some of our partners as well, where we offer some step-by-step advice on how to not only build out your product to an MVP and launch it with some beta users, but also get to that early advice on how to structure a round and get some early funding into that. So we're super excited about that, and I urge everybody who's considering going into the entrepreneur line of business to consider it. So with that, I mean, very happy to see that there's many people joining for this Coral event, and it'll be great. It'll be super fun. So good luck. I'll be reviewing your submissions, and it'll be a blast.
Awesome. Thank you, Simon, so much for the session and for the talk. That was a quick but really inspiring for people. And we really, guys, hope to see your submissions afterwards as an applicants for your acceleration program, because in the end, what matters the most is that your ideas can actually be a valuable business, not only the hackathon project. So if you consider and think that you have really great idea of your solution of your project, just feel free to use it and maybe try your luck and apply to the acceleration program after the hackathon. All right, and now I'm excited to announce the second session and last for today, which is a RAG workshop with Cohere. Now, as the session that will give you more practical experience about Cohere, and you will know how to use this after the session, and you will understand at least how to build the structure of your product. But before that, let me just remind for everyone who wants to participate on this hackathon and maybe who weren't approved yet, please fill in the form that I just shared in the chat. And with this form, you can get quick approval today, right after the stream, and join the hackathon and already start hacking. Thank you so much. And now I'm happy to invite Sebastian from Cohere. Sebastian, please confirm you can hear us.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
All right. Let me share my screen. Can you see that? I hope you can see that.
Will you be able to turn on the camera as well?
Oh, yeah, sure. 1 second. All right. Hi.
Hey, thank you.
I am Sebastian. I am co-leading the retrieval augmented generation modeling team here at Cohere. And Yeah, I'm super excited to give you a short presentation about building modern retrieval augmented LLM APIs. All right, so one of our goals in sort of the retrieval augmented generation modeling team is that we want to work towards verifiable language models, which means that we want to design an LLM to generate claims that are verifiable. This does not mean that they sort of are always 100% correct, but more so that if a model makes factual claims, we have a mechanism, and this mechanism are citations, so that users can very easily verify where those facts came from. And yeah, if there is no citation present, it does not mean sort of that the info. Basically, it means if there's no citation present, that this information has no sort of factual basis in supplied documents. But if a citation is present, it means that it is verifiable. You shouldn't trust it either. Like, just because there is a citation, it doesn't mean that you should trust blindly trust sort of the machines, but it makes it very easy for users to verify if that information came from the right place. And yeah, ultimately, it will always be on the user to check and verify that sort of the generations they use from LLMs are actual, factual, and sort of in line with what they expect. But it's also a great forcing function for us and everyone else who works with those systems to be more responsible, to look much stronger towards factually accurate models. All right. And our team at Cohere is trying to achieve that. And sort of in this talk, I'm going to cover a few sort of foundational aspects of how we sort of train these models, and then also give you a bit of a demo of what we can do with them, as well as an overview over the chat paradigm-based APIs that Cohere offers for you to hack on. All right, so we are building a general purpose, instruction following, retrieval augmented, grounded, chat capable, large language model generation API, which if you say it out like this is quite a handful. But it practically means we try to build for developers so that you can go and build cool new things on top of our foundational work. And sort of in practical terms, this means we very strongly look out for latency and try to keep the latency as low as we can. We try to design our systems to be as modular and as easy to use as possible. And yeah, we try to sort of, as Cohere as a whole, try to make it very easy for people to use our systems, both in sort of our platform, as well as if you start a big enterprise and you're very concerned about data security, you can sort of package everything up and deploy in private cloud deployments as well. All right, so let's take a look at how our architecture works. So we are starting off with a preamble and a chat history that goes into sort of the system workflow. Then, based on those two things, we have a language model call to generate a list of natural language queries, such as those you would type into Google, for example. And those natural language queries, because we designed our API to be modular, they can be routed to any text-based search API that you want. So this can be a web search API, such as built into our end-to-end offering, or it can be any other locally hosted search engine that you have, for example, with embedding-based search engines, but also very, very traditional, potentially 20-year-old text search engines. And from those text search engines, we gather up documents with an optional step of using our re-ranking offering, sort of get a better ranking, especially if you use older search engines, which don't produce as good as results. And then those documents or snippets from those documents, together with the preamble and the chat history, are fed through our grounded generation call, which then generates open-ended text with very fine-grained citations inserted by the large language model to specific words and phrases of the text. So we're not only producing, like a 200-word answer and then telling you somewhere in this 200-word answer there is a fact cited out of document 3. No, what we're trying to do is we're trying to pinpoint each and every fact that is cited from multiple sources and pinpoint that so that we can give users a very exact citation and developers the opportunity to build really cool interfaces on top of that. All right. Let's go ahead and define the inputs, for example. So we have a preamble, we have a chat history, and a set of connected search APIs. So this can be one or more search APIs. The preamble sort of defines the situational context of the model. So here are two examples. One is, you are a friendly chatbot and you are connected to the internet. And then the second one is, now you are a customer service agent for a specific company. You are connected to a specific set of documents, such as the customer support documentation of this company. And you're supposed to help with this problem specifically. Then a chat history is also, I think, very well known. You have multiple roles. You have a user, you have a chatbot, and potentially also sort of a system tool which can allow developers to add extra information that's neither the user or the chatbot. But other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward that the user inputs text and the chatbot outputs text. And sort of with the chat history, we can react based on like a whole conversation and not just like a single search as you would have in a web search engine result page, for example. And then you can define or build out a set of connected search APIs. So for example, this can be an internet search API. This could be just Wikipedia. And the only requirement that we currently have in our API is that the search API is able to handle natural language queries. And then it returns a list of documents with the text of those documents with sort of sufficiently large chunks that enough information is given. Okay, and what we output is a list of relevant retrieved documents. So we do basically score and judge whether each of the provided documents is relevant based on what our large language model thinks it is. We provide a generated answer string with sort of the text itself. And then what we also provide is already parsed out grounding and citation spans for each of the facts present in the generated answer string. Functionally, this looks a bit like this. Then those are like pseudo functions right now. So you have initially the search generation, which takes the preamble and history. Then you have the grounded generation, which takes the preamble, the history, and the documents retrieved from the search. And then what we could also do is, for example, if we don't generate search queries, so if you just want to converse with the model, for example, if you're doing chit chat, if you're asking the model very basic questions that don't require factual knowledge, we're not generating any search queries. And so you can sort of route the workflow towards just generating a standard boxed in chat as well. And from sort of an API standpoint, in our Python SDK, this looks somewhat like this. So you have a standard chat, which is not connected to anything with co.chat, but you can also use our modular workflow where you say in co.chat, you set a parameter to give you search queries only for sort of the retrieval augmented generation workflow. And with that, you can get back a set of queries. And for each of those queries, you can run your own search on sort of the client side in your backend and connect it to any search engine that you want. And you can call this search engine however you want it. And you're also completely in control of sort of the authentication layer to that search engine as well. And the configuration of what you might want to add or what you might want to filter down to. And then finally, you can generate the ground answer with co.chat again, but this time adding the documents into the call. And sort of the answer is, of course, streamable, so you can build user interfaces that stream down parts of the answer as you would expect to happen as well. We also have this end-to-end workflow, which I think is pretty nifty if you want to just try out something, but you don't necessarily have sort of your own database ready. What we provide you out of the box is you can use our chat model with a connected web search engine. And the only thing you have to do there is to specify that you want a connector with the ID web search, and we handle all the rest, right? We handle the query generation, we handle all the things with the web search engine itself, and then we just deliver you back the grounded answer. You will also be able to sort of define your own connectors and register your own connectors so that we take care of the flow as well. But I assume for this hackathon, it's going to be easier to use the modular workflow from the previous slide so that you can have much more control and sort of hack faster and not have to sort of go through the registration process there as well. All right, let's see some examples, shall we? So those examples are from my colleague named Patrick. That's why they are very much focused on his name. So here we start off with basically chit-chat conversation. Of course, we want our model, if you tell the model, hey, my name is Patrick, I don't want the model to search the web for anything. I just want to say to the model, hi. And this is exactly what it's doing. So it's deciding that there is no search needed. But if you then ask the model, what's the origin of my name? Multiple things happen here. So first of all, the model or the search query generation part of the model decides that yes, a search is needed because this is sort of a request for factual information. And then second of all, it uses the whole conversational history to generate the search query that includes the relevant information. So if you were to just search for this last user request, you wouldn't find anything useful. But our search generation generates a query which is origin of the name Patrick because it knows you just told it your name is Patrick and you wanted to know the origin of this name. So we are doing this co-reference to give you better search results that then in the end produce sort of this nice answer, which is long expressive and especially important, you can see all those inline citations that very specifically tell you where a piece of information is coming from. You can then also do other stuff like request formatting or request specific types of texts like LinkedIn posts, blog posts, emails, Slack messages, etc., which the model will happily sort of give you. Again, all the factual information will be grounded as well. All right, and you can then use sort of this chat paradigm to see sort of the first answer, and then you can ask the model to augment the initial answer with, for example, more information that you want to have added in this answer as well. And the model will then go back, search for this extra information, and add the additional information in there as well. What you can also do, what I think is also pretty cool, is if you have a query which can't be easily answered or very likely can't be answered with a single search because it searches for multiple distinct pieces of information. What our search query generation is able to do is it is able to generate a list of search queries. So here in this example, if you want to know who sold more records, Madonna or Kylie Minogue, the model recognizes that this information is very likely not contained in sort of a single document, and therefore it branches out to go and search for how many records Madonna sold and how many records Kylie Minogue sold. And then it combines the documents from both searches and writes an answer based on both sets of documents, including citations to the effects found in both of them. And then it also adds sort of, in this case, a reasoning answer, which does reasoning over the grounded facts, but in itself is not grounded in any of the retrieved facts because there was not a single document that told you, oh, this is the final answer, but the model then combined sort of its research phase into the final answer. All right, and yeah, you can sort of spin this further. You can ask the model specific things about parts of the chat history, and the model will then try to resolve the queries in a way that sort of answers the request correctly. This is, I think, a very interesting observation here, that if you ask the model a very standard question of saying how many trees are in the UK, if you use the standard chat, the answer at first glance looks perfectly reasonable. It's well-written English text. It contains a number, but crucially, this number is an hallucination. And if you ask the RAG chat with web search enabled, we can go and find sources that give you very specific backing of that information. Of course, it's not guaranteed that if we find a source on the web, that sort of the information contained there is truthful, but at least we can have the provenance of saying, okay, this is my source of information. It is now up to you whether you trust it or not. And in our modular workflow, the opportunity that you have is that you control sort of what search engine you use. So for example, if you scope it down to just Wikipedia or just your private documents, it will be much easier for you to sort of trust the retrieved information there as well. And one other very interesting thing is if you search for people names, such as for my colleague, Patrick Lewis, who are not sort of celebrities. If you search for celebrities, you can sort of assume, okay, my large language model just memorized facts about all of the celebrities in this world, right? But if you search for not as famous people, the large language models are not really capable of, or at least our standard chat is not really capable of distinguishing what sort of is the truth here, because there are probably many people called Patrick Lewis, and large language models see a lot of information about many people called Patrick Lewis. But if you use the RAG chat and it does a web query, it finds sort of his personal website and LinkedIn page, etc. And so there we can very specifically say, okay, this Patrick Lewis with this website that we cited for those parts of the answer is this person. It might not be the one Patrick Lewis you're looking for, but at least you can be confident that is that very specific person, and that the information is not kind of mingled together from multiple sources. Right. But yeah, it's definitely a very interesting and open question about what is the better default experience. So especially if you have very broad factual queries, such as the origin of the name Patrick. On left here, you can see the verifiable RAG chat, and on the right, you can see sort of the chat without RAG, which just uses the parameterized knowledge of the language model. And you can see that, yeah, both answers are fine. They are correct. But the question is, which do you prefer? Do you prefer sort of left side with more citations, sort of more opportunities for you to go and sort of click down further into the links as if you were to use a web search engine? Or are you happy with sort of the LM style answer that does not give you any citations, but because it doesn't give you any citations, it might have sort of a broader view on the topic, and it might be able to give you a better sort of overview because it's not as constrained as the one with the retrieved information. This is definitely an open question. It also is very much dependent on your use case, and it very well might turn out that the best default experience will be a combination of both of them. All right, there are a lot of interesting phenomena that we are encountering with sort of trying to build those models, such as ambiguity of the user requests, ambiguity in the documents, what to do when we don't find anything in the documents. What if people search for sort of ranges of numbers, ranges of years, but the documents themselves don't actually contain those ranges, but one number inside the range. If a lot of the time documents are very noisy, right? So a lot of the web is structured information, which might not translate very well in sort of the pure plain text view. So how to deal with that, as well as how to deal with semi-structured information such as JSON objects coming back from an API that sort of contains a lot of structured information and not necessarily the plain text itself, and many other things that we encounter in our sort of daily work with the models. But yeah, with that, food for thought. Thanks for listening, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have some. And otherwise, I wish you a lot of fun using our APIs, and I'm super excited to see what you build with it.
Thank you so much for the session. We had a huge amount of people that were watching you. And actually, Cohere did a great job answering all the questions in the chat. I have just a few. Let me just quickly go through them and we'll see, can you answer it here or better to use a text version? So the question is, does Cohere offers these features like argumenting in the conversation or reasoning out of the box for us? I believe for hackers.
Yes, I think so. I'm pretty sure that we do. So basically, when we talk about Coral, this is basically the umbrella term of the API plus the UI that you can use on our website. But the API, which is in public beta, so I assume you will be able to use it, includes all those capabilities that I showed.
Thank you so much for this. Let me move. There was a reference to one of your example was trees in UK. So is the number of trees in UK rack example? In this number of trees in UK rack example, what was the supporting document set? Did Cohere do a web search on its own without me giving it documents about the trees number?
Yes, so in this example, we did a web search, and we sort of searched for, I don't know, so basically the model decided what to search for, but it was probably something like how many trees are in the UK. And then it retrieved documents from the web. And we sort of fed that through the model. But of course, if you, for example, have documents that talk about trees, you can feed them in our modular workflow directly into the model with that question. And you can, if you want to, you can sort of skip this search engine step as well. So you can say, oh, I know what my documents are. I want you to use those specific pieces of text and base your answer on those specific texts. And yeah, you can do that as well with the API.
It's a very similar question here. Some questions of the Patrick Levi's example. It sounds like Cohere does an extra search for me without me supporting documents about my coworkers, right?
I'm not sure I follow this question 100%. So yeah, basically the query here was who is Patrick Lewis? But Patrick Lewis was the one who made this example. But yeah, it's basically the model goes out and tries to find the web for information about the user request. Sort of, it's similar as if you were to go to Google and then type in the name Patrick Lewis, and sort of his website will come up, and you can go do the research yourself, or you can sort of use our model and it tries to do the research for you.
Oh, the next one, pretty funny question. I'm not sure that you're the one to answer this, but people are asking why you choose the name Coral for the API.
That's a very good question. I have no idea. I think because it sounds good. Coral is sort of Coral is actually the name of this orange shade of color that we're using. So it's yeah, I think it's just a pretty name, and we didn't want to give it sort of a humanized name, right? So we don't want to humanize the large language model, but sort of use it and develop it as a productivity tool, and we don't want to try to steer people away from that, but sort of really focus on being a fun productivity tool.
Thank you for that. I see that we have a bit of suggestions on the second names for Coral. If you will look for something, we have a bit of ideas here. There's a question as well regarding usage of vector databases with Cohere. And do we have any examples or sample projects showcasing Cohere, Coral plus VV8 or any vector database, how it should be built together?
I'm the wrong person to ask here. So yeah, what you can definitely do is you can use our Cohere embeddings, which just got a refresh, which is like V3 now. Better embeddings, better results. And you can just use those embeddings with any vector search that you want. As far as I'm aware, we basically have examples using our embeddings sort of for the vector search part. And then we have examples how you can use our API. And I think you can just like combine those two and it will very likely work out of the box.
Using the moment, I would say that we will have a workshop with VVA together on Monday. So there you can actually see how to build projects together with VVA and Cohere. So just stay tuned and check out the workshop actually on Monday. There is the last question I see in the chat, guys. If you have more, feel free to ask. Does CoChat accept input of prompt and embeddings of some PDF stored in vector database for answering queries?
So we're not sort of supporting the, basically the embeddings are used to find the text, and the text is then put into co.chat. So we're not sort of directly using the embeddings in the co.chat. So basically it's like two modular systems working together, but not actually using each other's embeddings.
Okay, that's also a co-chat related question. Is there any co-chat integration with LangChain, since I just see the embeddings interface?
I don't know. I'm not sure. There might be. It might not be sort of in the official repository yet because it's just public beta, and we might change stuff around. So I'm not sure if that's the reason. But yeah, I mean, maybe you can build it as part of the hackathon. I mean, that would be awesome as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the answers. And using this moment again, I will announce the next talk on Monday, which will be with LangChain. So for everybody who wants to integrate LangChain or VBA in your projects, feel free to join us on Monday for the session, and you will see more in practice, and you will be able to ask questions to Harrison from LangChain and to Cohere folks as well. So thank you so much for the session. Do you have maybe some last words to say to hackers, some bit of inspirational talk for them before they will get started with their solutions?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I have a lot of fun basically working with our product and sort of trying to develop it further. And a lot of what I do is basically hacking things together pre-production to see if sort of the modeling side of it works out. So yeah, I think that's a great playground to hack around. And I hope you have as much fun as we do in our daily work. And yeah, super excited to see what you will build.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. It was a pleasure to have you here with us. And with that,
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Hope to see you during the hackathon. With that, I have just a few final words for you to say and guide you through the hackathon to say what you have actually do after this. So in this point, we are finishing our kickoff stream, and we hope you got enough materials for you to get started with your hackathon journey. And I'm just happy to say that now you can start your team formation process and following the guides that we gave you before. Just start and do your own team, invite team members. We know that most of the people already started this, so feel free to join them. Now in the chat, I wanted to send the invite for hackathon channel, and there you have a thread to find your team members. So please feel free to use this invite, and you can join now and start communicating with people that also were accepted. For those who submitted the form and haven't got any answer, it's probably mean that you submitted a form earlier, closer to the stream, and you will have your email today right after the stream. And you should also have already access to the platform, so check this out. And we wish you have a great hacking, and we hope to chat with you on Discord, and we hope to see your amazing projects in the end of the hackathon. Thank you so much, and see you on the session on Monday.